The Ministry of Finance has reached an agreement with the banking industry to waive additional interest or profit charges for hire purchase loans and Islamic fixed-rate financing for the 6-month moratorium period offered due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The MoF said monthly installment payments would not apply to both HP loans and Islamic fixed-rate financing throughout the period. This means there will be an additional 6 months for the entire financing schedule if borrowers decide to take advantage of the moratorium. MoF says further information will be provided by the banks. Bursa Malaysia has granted listed companies a 1-month extension for the issuance of annual reports and annual audited financial statements with financial year ended March 31st, 2020. This means listed companies now have until August 31st instead of July 31st to issue their reports. This latest relief measure forms part of a series of flexibilities introduced by the exchange to ease compliance by listed issuers in the face of the outbreak. Bursa says this is to give listed companies sufficient time to prepare their reports and for the auditors to carry out their audits so that the quality and integrity of disclosures by the issuers are not compromised despite these challenging times. Westports Holdings saw a 9.22% increase in net profit for the first quarter to 152.8 million, mainly due to the implementation of a tariff hike. Revenue for the quarter grew 14% to 473.5 million, which was driven by construction activities arising from development work on a new jetty and yard. Group MD Datuk Ruben Emir Nyanalingam voiced caution over the group's prospects and expects the major effects of the COVID-19 pandemic to hit in April and continue throughout the second quarter. However, despite registering lower container volume, Westport says it has invested 78 million ringgit in capital expenditure to enhance its operations. Bank's net income margin will be squeezed harder following Bank Negara's decision to cut OPR by 50 basis points to 2%, a level not seen since the last global financial crisis. Some analysts are of the view that the compression may be less severe from the latest round of rate cuts, but that thinner margins are inevitable given BNM's aggressive cuts. HLIB banking analyst Chan Jit Hung says that based on his sensitivity analysis, every 25 basis point cut in OPR would see sector NIM contracting by 4 to 5 basis points and its profit forecast falling by 3 to 4% on a full year basis without accounting for potential mark-to-market gains and lower defaults. Chan is of the opinion that Alliance Bank Malaysia and BIMB Holdings would lose the most, while Affin Bank and AMMB Holdings would be the least affected. CGS-CIMB's Winston Ng says the banks in his universe would face a steeper decline in net profit should a further 25 basis point cut materialize. CGS-CIMB estimates that 125 basis point OPR cut would lower bank's profit for 2020 by about 10%. About 40,000 individuals surveyed by the Department of Statistics said they had benefited from the government's economic stimulus package. According to a statement by DOSM, 68.2% said that they had received 3 forms of assistance, whereas 13.9% received 2 and 17.9% received 1. The survey had been conducted from April 10 to 24th, with 41,386 individuals taking part. A total of 70.1% of respondents felt that the stimulus package was effective as it reduced their financial burden. Around 9% thought the stimulus was effective as it could eliminate the financial burden faced during the movement control order period. DOSM says overall the COVID-19 outbreak has affected 96.3% of respondents, and they are prepared to maintain this changed lifestyle after returning to normal life following the end of the MCO.